We've all just witnessed a tremendous act of God, which we all need to appreciate, especially if you're an American living in the United States, but really for the entire world.
We see something that said, take a look at what happened.
The moment that the shooter shot at President Trump, he moved his head to look at a jumbotron. He was going off script from the teleprompter, which he had planned to do. But it was at that precise moment that he moved his head. And the reason why we all have to be grateful for this enormous act of God to spare his life has nothing to do with your party. It makes no difference whether you support him or you really dislike him. It has to do with the fact that he represents the United States of America, the most powerful country of the world, and were someone, God forbid, to kill a previous president, a current president, or a candidate for presidency, that is a shot at democracy. And that is a horrific act that every one of us needs to acknowledge. And this needs to be a wake-up call for us. Thank God it didn't end with the murder of President Trump. Tragically, it led to the murder of an innocent individual, which is horrific. And we need to have a wake-up call from this, every single citizen in this country, to realize that we have one of two options. And this is something I repeat frequently, and this is true in so many circumstances. We can either choose to be a part of the problem or a part of the solution. Those are our two options. And the way we respond to situations like this will speak to where we stand, part of the problem or part of the solution. If we even had a thought, and I know many people did, and that's fine in the sense that at least you can, I hope you can acknowledge this so we can address it. If you had the thought, right, which you were smart enough not to say at least, that I wish, and I'm not going to repeat the full thought, we have to understand that that thought process in and of itself is a problem. And I would say, to flip the scenario, imagine if, God forbid, this would have happened to President Biden. And you would have had a thought, right, which you would be smart enough not to say, if only. We have to understand that that thought is where the problem is. If we truly embrace democracy, we have to embrace the fact that there are differing ways of approaching something, and that there are differing views. And sometimes we can vehemently disagree with those views. But if we truly support democracy, we have to make space for it. We cannot simply vilify. In fact, if the truth is so strongly on our side, then we should be able to get the support on our side to get where we want to go. We must tone down the rhetoric. We must stop vilifying on a level that leads to such acts, which are horrific. And we have to show respect while we vehemently disagree. There's no problem with vehemently disagreeing. In my experience, not only on a political level, but I find this religiously as well within the Jewish religion and the differences of opinion, that many people have a very hard time firmly disagreeing with someone else while maintaining respect. And we must learn to respect a person for having their opinion, to even understand that they're coming from a different perspective. And maybe I completely disagree with it, but based on their background, on the information that they have, whatever it may be, and I understand they come to that conclusion. I completely disagree with it. I believe that it's wrong. I even may believe that it's leading people to a very unhealthy place. But I cannot vilify it. I have to understand it and then use every ability that I have to espouse my healthy opinion from my perspective and to influence the world in a good place. This is the only way forward. And we have become so polarized in our country that it's damaging us to our core. The gift of this moment is that it wasn't worse. Had it been worse, I'm scared to think about what would be going on right now in our country. But it is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for us to understand the extent to which we have reached, and that we, as one individual, have a choice of being part of the problem and part of the solution. And it's going to be how we think, how we speak, and how we respond. If we hear someone else expressing a viewpoint, even if they say it in a half-joking way, that he got what he deserved, or I wish this, or whatever it may be, whatever other crazy comments, we have to be the voice to say, don't say that. That's wrong. Even if we agree with them politically, we're on that political side of things. But we have to stop the rhetoric at a certain point where it becomes completely inappropriate and, frankly, dangerous. And this danger trickles. We have to realize this is really dangerous. This is the responsibility we all have. We have to step into the responsibility of being an expression of the solution.